Okay, everybody, good afternoon. Gorgeous day here in Western New York. And what this video is going to do, I'm just going to explain the long anticipated GoPro setup that I have on the bike. And I tell you, I worked a while on it. I used to use the camera just mounted directly on the top like a Teletubby. And it gave pretty good shots, but again, that's a third-person shot, and I really wanted to get the beauty of a first-person shot on the front of the helmet. And it does take really nice shots. I had some problems with audio, and that's what this main video is going to be about. But what I did to get a really decent deal on the front was I used shoe glue. It's that moldable epoxy stuff. I'm not even sure what it is. It's rubbery, but man, after it dries, it's not coming off. And I was able to angle it enough to keep this flush, because you know, you look down a little bit, you know, all you're doing is looking at your bike, you don't get the scenery. So what I also did was I went with a J hook, which enables me to bend the camera back further, so I can get all kinds of angles. Even if I'm looking down, the camera is going to be straight on. So that was the attachment. I really like it. It's really clean. When you're not using it, it's not crazy goofy, a little goofy, but I really didn't like those side setups that a lot of people have. To me, it just, the view you're getting looks like it's your girlfriend looking around the side of you trying to see what's out in front, and it just didn't give you a real good first-person shot of it. So what I use is I use this Session 5. It's the little cube style, and it's a great little camera. Only huge disadvantage is the non-removable battery, and on a nice cool day, if you're not going crazy with it, you get about an hour of record time at best. So you really got to judge your shots and everything, and then take it home. It does take a while to charge. You know, I have an auxiliary cord in my bike. I've never really charged it off the bike. So, you know, that was the deal. So now audio, it sucked. It wasn't that great. So what happened was, you had to go out and spend the $50 on this accessory that GoPro offers. That's the actual real GoPro model. A lot of people complain about the size of it, and it is a bulky thing. I mean, it's not that much smaller than the actual camera, so it is kind of it's $50 too. But when I upgrade cameras, I'll be able to keep this, and it's something you really got to have if you're going to motovlog. Really worth the price of admission is this right here, Motoradds. I'm going to give them a little props. They're not paying me any money or nothing. I looked all over. They have those top mount kinds for like the 7 blacks and the 6 blacks that clip onto where you'd put a flash unit on or whatever, and they're real nice. This guy here, it comes with this little angled piece. It comes with the clip, and the beauty of this thing is when you plug this thing in, let's see which way's best, that way, it just kind of snaps right in there. Pull that little trigger up, and then boom, and it's in there. A little jiggly, not perfect, but it does give it a much cleaner look. You don't have to have this Velcro to the side of your helmet and all that stuff. These doors are removable, but I just leave the door on. That way when I take it off and I'm going to ride home, if it's a little misty or rainy that night, I can shut that door and go without audio, or just turn the camera off. Protects the camera. I don't think it's a big deal. That USB angled piece there kind of holds it from vibrating and all that, so real happy with that. It's a must-have. So again, these parts, this J-hook, you can find them everywhere. This is an actual real GoPro J-hook, but you can get them for freaking $4 or $5 on eBay. They're a must-have for the you know, the chin piece that you're going to do if you're going to do a chin mount. You know, the top mount is nice. The side mounts, you know, they're pretty cool. You do, some guys try to actually get a piece of their helmet in it to give a field of view. I don't know, I wasn't about that. I really like the front facing. So that was my setup. Okay, now the big step here, microphones. I tried everything. You know, having external microphones with dead cat furries on them, sponges in them, inside the thing. These HJC helmets, they're really nice DOT-wise, but as you can see, I'm wide open there. They're not really designed for windproof. Well, you know, for $100, you know, you're not going to get a windproof helmet. It's not a showy or anything. So, you know, that was something that was a big concern for me. So I looked and I hunted and I packed and I checked for videos, and I come across this place called Mini Moto Works. And what this guy does, he uses a 3D printer, and this is his latest model. This is the 5.0, and he calls him the Helmic, H-E-L-M-I-C, just Helmic. And basically with a 3D printer, he creates this housing, puts foam all in it, And he said he upgraded the quality of the microphone in there, and it's weird, it has a female instead of a male. So I had to go out and get a cable too. And I'll talk about that because I'm having problems with that. But the mic, it works really good. I had it in the house recording. It sounds nice. It doesn't dim out because it's in this casing. And I was using it last night, and it sounded really nice. I wasn't getting, at around 60, 70, I was getting some wind noise, but what the hell, you know, no doubt you're gonna get that. But at average speeds and normal highway speeds, I was doing really good. The only kicker was, and I believe it was this cable, either it's a cheapo or something, but I was getting a clicking, almost sounded like an engine noise. But I did an experiment. It's not the engine, but the engine off, it still does it. Stamp on it and stuff, and you would get a ground loop isolation, and you would get that sound. It almost sounded like that. But this is a separate unit. It's not connected to anything, and it's a DC power source. I don't believe it's a ground loop problem. You know, I thought about a ground loop isolator, but I really don't think that's the problem. This cable is picking up something in there. So I'll put everything together. Let me show you how it works. The mic, the Helmic, it comes from Mini Motos, comes with Velcro, and I put the piece in here. I think I think in hindsight, I would have put the fuzzy side in here and put the more bristly side on the mic. That way when it's not on there, but my face is really far away. I can stick fingers up in between my hand and where this mic is, so I don't hit this mic. It's pretty far away from my face. You know, you simply just Velcro that in. Good to go. And it's in there sturdy enough you're not going to have a windstorm in there. And the camera just mounts on real nice and easy. Actually, I think it comes down on this guy. Make sure those things come out. Yeah, on the J-hook, you don't get that rubber piece that kind of flips down in and really locks these outer tabs out. I don't think it's an issue. I'm not finding it to be. But this is a genuine GoPro one, which I like. The genuine GoPros tend to tighten nicer. The spacing where all the pieces connect is just dead nuts on, so you can tighten it real easy, and you don't have to double crank it to really get them so they don't shift on you and stuff like that. So that was the deal there. So what I do is I put the right angle into the adapter. Make sure the adapters plug into your USB-C. And what I was doing was just a one loop around, which kind of keeps everything tight. And then I just plug her in. A little plug in. So there it is. And I have seen some seriously ungodly looking rigs. And this is ungodly. But folks, I tell you, for a chin mount with a GoPro, with the necessity to have the external mic adapter, I don't know of a cleaner setup than that. So again, that's the route I went. The best way to use an external mic adapter is you power them up before you go ahead and initiate a video. If you just right from cold start initiate a video, like these phones do, which is great, it saves battery and everything, it doesn't give it time to detect this. So what happens is when you create a video, you don't get any sound, you get dead air. So it's really important to start the camera up, have it running, and then go ahead and initiate your video that you're gonna do. Should wash that shield. I have to do it every day. Alrighty, that's the deal. We'll do some riding videos in a bit. So riding video, let's see what we can do. Place is kind of a mess. Gotta work on the tractor. Guys, a little feel of the 0 to 60 on this thing on highway entrance, but with this traffic, it ain't gonna happen. Well, maybe we got a gap. We got a gap. So, yeah, I'm going to give you a quick update on everything that's going on. So, yeah, that Session 5, I ended up selling that and getting a 7. I got a video of that. I'm going to put that on. You guys saw that just a bit ago. One of the things that was a concern to me was that electronic sound that I was getting, like clicking, and it was definitely electromagnetic sound. And what I'm thinking was it had to be something the cable was picking up. I thought maybe it was my cell phone, whatever. Did a lot of research, come to find out, and it worked for me by turning the Wi-Fi off on the camera. It made that sound go away. I was able to record not a bit of it. So apparently it was picking up the Wi-Fi signal that the little camera was sending out, and with the cable that I had, maybe not good enough shielding, or the mic itself being sensitive enough, it was able to pick that up. And the weirdest thing about it is if the mic was out of the helmet or my helmet was off and I was talking, nothing, as soon as I put the helmet on, put the mic back in the helmet, you would hear the sound. And kind of, it was a little scary to me because for some reason that helmet wasn't harnessing all that extra electromagnetic output from the Wi-Fi. And you know, a lot of people say, oh, don't be too close to electronic fields to your brain and all that other stuff inside your head. So it was a concern. I fixed that. For those of you still running 5s, 4s, maybe even the 6, I don't know much about that one either, and you're getting those issues, a quick fix is just turn that Wi-Fi off and you're absolutely going to get some much better sound. It went away at high speeds too, and I'm just wondering if maybe somehow the speed of the bike was keeping up with the Wi-Fi signal or something, not allowing it to build up in the helmet. I don't know, but at higher speeds, it was fine, and you can get that clicking sound. Yeah, let me show you real quick. I did some updates on the 7. I changed the way the external mic adapter works, so I'll show you guys that real quick here. I'll try to keep this one framed a little better than that first video. Again, using an iPhone, the field of view is not what it is on one of these GoPros, so I was a little off on some of the field view in that first video of me doing the 5 hookup. But here it is, the 7. And first thing you might notice is this housing that now I have it in instead of the separate Motoradds. That's a nice setup too. It gives you a separate little connector, and you can kind of motion the camera around a little bit. Right now, the only disadvantage to this housing that I have found is that it bottoms out to the J-hook and keeps it pretty much straight up. If you're looking down, I think you get a lot more handlebar than you would, you know, from the other one. And but a couple quick notes on this one. This is the plastic one. It goes for about $16.99. They make a metal one that's like $40. The only thing I didn't like, the fact that you screw in the GoPro adapter. It comes stock with the regular 1/4 inch by 20 millimeter, and I just didn't like the fact you had to screw this in with little bitty screws. If that ever came loose, your whole mechanism goes away. And yeah, it wasn't real big on that. That was the only thing that steered me from that metal one, and the fact that this was $15 less, you know, was another big factor too. It goes in really nice. It's tight to the unit. It actually, I think, comes back in and out easier than it does the stock cage or skeleton or housing, they call it. Because when the original one, when you come to take your camera out of it, it's like the stop button catches a little. You almost have to pry up and kind of grab it really good and wiggle it and force it out of there. So, another quick thing about the 7. Strictly one of the main reasons I went with the 7 versus the 8, it wasn't so much a money thing, but it was kind of nice. I saved $100, was the fact that the 7 still has the 2 separate doors. The battery doors at the bottom, and the door that accesses the ports is a separate little door that pops off. And so you don't have as much of the camera exposed. You still have a lot exposed. That's one disadvantage of doing an external mic hookup, is that you do have the doors exposed. And, you know, that's a little bit of a disadvantage. One thing is the 8 doesn't come with a micro HDMI output. The 7 still did. It's not something I'd use a lot. I don't even have a cable for it, but eventually maybe I will. If I'm over at my brother's, I can, you know, hook that up real quick, and we can view videos from the camera right onto a TV set. Kind of a nice function they got away from with the 8. I guess most modern devices are getting away from corded connections because everything's a Wi-Fi world now. The audio adapter slides in really nice. It'll slide out, but it's pretty firm. And once this cable's attached, it's in there good. I don't think it's coming out. And by the time I put my microphone cable in, it locks everything in really pretty good. It holds in there really snug. I'm happy with that. It has a cold shoe adapter that you could put like a flash unit on it, or if I ever wanted to hook my mic to one of those pin lockups where the mic is up here, and I do have another external mic with a dead cat and a foam thing, you know, I can use for blogging or whatever. I'm using the iPhone today just so I can show this unit. Another thing is, that might be a bit of a disadvantage for some people with bigger fingers, is that this housing separates from the phone a little bit. So getting in there and moving around and adjusting features is a little bit of a hassle. I can do it pretty easy. And this button is recessed a little bit. So if you have a real big finger, you might, you know, have a problem in there. I don't with my finger. I just, it seems to work fine. Top button's no problem at all. That could give you a big enough opening to activate the video. It has the word Ulanzi on here. That's the manufacturer of this, Ulanzi. It's U-L-A-N-Z-I. So it's a Chinese or Asian company that manufactures them. They do a lot of different housings for, you know, DLSRs and all kinds of different stuff. They're a pretty good company. I decided to go ahead and use a GoPro sticker to cover that up. I trimmed it down, I don't know, a little shim sham, but I didn't want to see the word Ulanzi on my nice camera every day that I look at it. Just one of those things. So real happy with that. I'm still getting some wind noise. It's not totally gone with the Mini Motoworks microphone. It's a heck of a lot better than anything else I've tried. One thing I haven't tried, there is software built into the camera that you can go to that deletes wind. I haven't activated it yet. On some of my future videos I will do that to see if it really deletes a lot of the sound by getting rid of the wind too, and you're processing more. And the more the processing is involved in the sound that you're getting, I'm still trying to work up analog solutions to wind instead of, you know, trying to do it by, you know, using software. But we'll see where it goes from there. Again, my helmet, it's an HJC CSR2. It's one of their, you know, lower end models. The DOT function on it is great. It's a safe helmet, but it's just not designed for a lot of wind protection. And you hear it in your ears, it's windy in there, and it's wide open at the bottom. Nice in the summertime, but again, it's a windy helmet, so that might solve it too. Just getting a nice showy helmet or something that was a little more airtight, I think would just about solve everything. So I'll let you see another video. I'm not showing a lot of riding videos. I got tons of footage of me and my brother riding around, but I'm bored as shit out of you guys, some of that stuff. I'll just show some of the highlights of what it's like when, you know, riding the Honda, and then I'm going to do some more detailed stuff, maybe a good review of how I really feel about that Honda Rebel 500. Well, just a spoiler alert, I really do love the bike. For those of you that are experienced riders, the bike might not be enough for you, but for me right now, I mean, I can beat the hell out of it. I love the fact you can full throttle it off the start and stuff. So alrighty, heading to Creekside. Definitely get around quicker on a motorcycle than you can any other vehicle. Really efficient means of combusting petrol into motion. 83. Yeah, like nothing. I'm barely on this throttle. There's a lot to be had left on it. You know what I mean? It's a fine highway bike. It's just small. You know, and you're gonna get blown around and you're gonna get fatigued. But if you can gut it out and be a tough biker, there's no reason you can't drive this thing to California. Truck with its flashers on up there. Never a good sign. I promise you I'll try to get some better videos out there. I got a ton I got to sift through. I just really wanted to get this as more of a, a review, communication out on some of the video troubles that I've had and some of that stuff. I'm still working on the editing and everything, cutting and splicing it in. I tell you, don't get into video editing if you don't have a lot of time. Like me, I have a lot of subscribers. I feel bad I don't get more videos out. I'm going to try. We'll go from there. Little 7's doing good. You can tell there's still some wind noise in there. I might try the software option, get a little better camera, maybe somehow enclose that mic a little more. I'll be screwing around. I'll let you guys know. Thanks, Rich MSX 125 signing off.